If you've ever been the guy who listens, who sends good morning texts, who offers to help, and yet she still loses interest, this is for you. Because you're not doing anything bad. You're just doing things in the wrong order, with the wrong intention, and often with the wrong energy. And no one has told you why it doesn't work. They say, just be nice, just be yourself. But reality is more brutal than that. Women aren't turned off by kindness. They're turned off by weakness disguised as kindness. And most nice guys don't realize they're giving off weakness. In this video, I'll break down exactly why that happens. Not to make you colder, not to make you manipulative, but to help you move in a way that commands respect, not just approval, so that attraction can grow naturally, not forced. Because yes, a lot of men have that nice guy energy by default. But there are clear, practical ways to shift out of it, without changing who you are. Just by moving smarter. And if you stay until the end, I'll show you how to flip the energy without faking anything. Just by changing how you show up. Let's get into it. Rule 1. Being nice too soon makes you replaceable. So stop giving too much, too fast. Most guys are taught to lead with kindness, compliments, generosity, availability. But when that's your entry point, it doesn't build attraction. It builds expectation. Why? Because when you give too much too soon, without her investing anything, she doesn't feel your value. She just feels your need. In psychology, it's called pre-investment imbalance. One person is doing all the giving before the other even decides if they want it. Here's a simple example. You meet a girl, and the same night you start sending long texts, liking all her stories, calling her queen, offering to take her out. She hasn't done anything to earn that attention yet. You're giving out boyfriend energy before even building attraction energy. The result? She thinks, he's sweet, but I'm not feeling it. It's not because you're too good. It's because you're too predictable, too easy, too fast. And easy rarely feels valuable. Rule 2. Being too emotionally available. Too fast kills curiosity, so don't spill everything in texts. Let's say she asks you, "How was your day?" You respond with a 4-paragraph message. You tell her your exact schedule, your emotions, your hopes, your childhood trauma, and your favorite song. You're being honest, vulnerable. You think this creates connection. But here's what's happening under the surface. You're giving away emotional access she hasn't earned. It's like giving someone your house keys on the second date. Even if they like you, they'll feel something is off. Women are intuitive. If you're too open too fast, they don't feel connected. They feel the pressure to match your energy. And if they're not there yet, they pull back. Instead, move with mystery. Answer calmly. Be real. But let the depth unfold over time. For example, you meet a girl on Insta or Snapchat, and within 2 days, you're telling her your whole life. Your doubts, your past, your heartbreaks. You even say, "I feel like I can tell you everything." At first she listens, but soon she goes cold, then disappears. Why? Because she never asked for all that. You were trying to create emotional closeness way too fast, but instead of showing strength, you came across as too intense too soon, and that energy pushed her away. You need to know that presence is attractive. Over-explaining is not. Rule 3. Avoiding tension makes you look weak. So don't be afraid to say no. Most nice guys hate conflict. So when a woman pulls back, flakes, teases or pushes boundaries, they smile and say, "No worries, I understand." But deep down, they feel disrespected. And guess what? She feels it too. A woman will test your frame, not always on purpose. Sometimes just to see if you actually stand for something, or if you just want to please her. Here's what usually happens. She says she'll call, then doesn't. You reply, It's okay. I know you're busy." Instead of keeping your boundary, you're trying to avoid rocking the boat. But that silence, that lack of accountability, tells her one thing. You're scared to lose her. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who's scared to lose a woman he barely knows. Another example. You ask her out. She replies with, "I'm not sure," or "I'll let you know." And instead of moving on, you offer more days, more places, more chances. You want it to work so badly that you forget to hold your frame. And just like that, she loses interest. Why? Because now it feels like your value depends on her yes. You're no longer attractive. You're available on demand. And that's never sexy. In reality, real men don't seek conflict, but they don't avoid it either. Rule 4. She can't desire what she doesn't respect. Don't make her your center. You want her to like you, so you treat her well. That's fine. But somewhere along the line, your energy shifts. You stop being a man who has a life and becomes a man who wants her to fill it. You text too much. You wait for her replies. You cancel your plans the second she gives you attention. What does that create? Dependence. And dependence isn't attractive to anyone. Here's a hard truth. Women don't dream of being your emotional support system. They want a man they can lean on, not a man who leans on them. A woman might appreciate your niceness, but if she doesn't respect your independence, she won't crave your presence. Don't be afraid to take space. Don't be afraid to let her wonder. For example, you start dating a girl, and suddenly everything else disappears. You stop seeing your friends, skip the gym, push your goals aside. All your time and energy go into her. At first, she might enjoy the attention, but not for long. Why? Because now she feels like you have no life of your own, and no one stays attracted to someone who forgets themselves to be liked. In reality, power is silent. Presence is calm. You don't get there by chasing approval. Rule 5. Don't try too hard. Don't force the connection. Imagine 2 restaurants. One has a line out the door. The other is begging you to come in. Where do you feel more drawn? Same with people. Same with dating. Nice guys often try to impress, explain, overprove. They tell her, "I'd treat you so much better. I'm not like those other guys. You deserve someone like me." It sounds sweet, but underneath it, a silent message. "Please pick me." That's not attractive. That's pressure. The men who get respect, attention, and attraction don't beg for it. They attract it by not needing it. They live full lives. They move with direction. They invite. They don't chase. Here's where it gets real. Let me give you more everyday examples so you can actually see how these mistakes show up. At school, at work, online. So it finally clicks, and you stop repeating what's been pushing her away. At school, you're the guy who helps her with homework, carries her books, and replies fast to every message. You think you're building connection, but she calls you sweet and starts dating the guy who barely says a word in class. Here's what you should do instead. Don't give out full relationship energy to someone who hasn't shown real interest. Be helpful, yes, But don't be overly available. The more calm and centered you are, the more she'll start wondering about you, not using you. On social media and dating apps, you send thoughtful messages, ask deep questions, and reply fast. But her answers get shorter, slower, until one day, she disappears. Here's the fix. Mirror her effort. Don't chase dead energy. If she's dry, be brief. If she's late, slow down. The more you match her vibe, not overcompensate, the more she'll feel your value instead of your need. In relationships, you give her everything. Love, gifts, support, reassurance. You make her feel safe and seen. But one day she says, "I don't know. Something's missing." And you feel lost. The real move here is stop over-functioning. When you do too much, it becomes expected, not special. Take a step back. Let her show up too. Real attraction isn't about comfort alone. It needs edge, space, and mutual investment. Being kind isn't what's holding you back. What matters is where that kindness comes from. If it's rooted in fear, insecurity, or the need to be liked, it won't land the way you hope. It'll come off as pressure, not presence. But if your kindness comes from calm confidence, clear standards, and real self-respect, it becomes powerful. That's the difference. You're not here to beg for attention. You're here to move with value. So stop reaching out first every time. Stop bending your plans for people who haven't earned that level of access. Stop thinking being nice automatically builds connection, because it doesn't. It builds expectation, and often disappointment. Nice guys don't lose because they're nice. They lose when their niceness hides neediness. Lead with value, not validation. Hold your frame. Let attraction grow from respect, from curiosity, from balanced energy. You're not here to be picked like a prize. You're here to decide who belongs in your world. And that shift changes everything. If this spoke to you, don't just keep it in your head. Write a comment, even just a few words. It helps you remember, and it might help someone else too. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this content, and share this with someone who, in your eyes, needs it right now. Just trust your instinct. We're all trying to get clearer, more solid inside. So let's build minds that don't break.